My second breakfast.
So you now arrive at the green door.
I don't know if I even noticed or not. Maybe. I'm getting suspicious.
Like
Magic poo. Maybe he's fasting. I don't know. I'm not going to ask.
It's not terribly crowded. Not nearly as crowded as it was last night.
I would hope so.
Is the bonfire all out? Or are there still embers?
In the village square? It's still going somewhat. It's just not as large. Like some of the smaller ones have gone out.
Sure.
But the main one is still some decent-sized fire, but not raging.
While we're walking through town, I'm going to be sort of just like palming the gemstone, like openly, and just kind of gauging like reactions.
Ooh.
Roll perception.
It's the jade.
Everyone knows him.
Just him.
19.
A handful of people might notice that it's not a normal stone. Some people are kind of eyeing it longingly because they know if it's a gemstone, it might be worth a decent amount. You can't really tell if anyone has any nefarious looks on their face or any worried looks on their faces.
Okay.
Everyone's just kind of confused, like, what's going on here?
I'll just throw that back in my satchel when we reach the green door.
Okay.
Did you take your sword from the house?
Oh yeah.
You wouldn't forget.
I'm going to leave that behind. You kidding me? It's the most important piece of equipment.
What about the hat?
And the hat.
So you see...
the spurs are the most important.
You see John Smith, the half-orc bartender. He is continuing to work. He's wiping down the actual bar. He looks up. He sees you four enter. Sees you.
Howdy.
He just kind of rolls his eyes.
He won't cause trouble. Keep him on a short leash now.
You better.
Right. Let's grease his palms a bit and buy something to drink. We'd like to ask you a few questions, Smith, if you've got a moment.
Anything for a fellow half-orc.
You give him the half-orc fist bump.
Is that a special type?
Yeah.
We do it.
It's done with two half-orc fists.
Yeah.
To make a whole orc fist.
Just then they're holding hands.
I don't believe in asking questions without buying something. So we were looking into Saho. You know anything about the man that's passed?
Just what the drunks and the idiots say. The rumors about
Sometimes
him.
there's truth to rumors.
It's very true. I mean, I've heard all sorts of things. Everything that he was a crime boss in Ryujin to he was the Emperor's right-hand man. You'll have to be more specific in regards to which rumor you're referring to.
What about him running illegal gems?
Oh yes, that one. Yeah, that seems to be the most popular. I haven't heard anything to confirm or deny. I think the villagers just look for something to pass away the days, so any new villager who wanders in, who's as mysterious as they were, and as you four are actually, they can't help but wonder backstories and origin myths.
What are they saying about us already?
Oh, I'd be quite interested to hear that.
Well, they say that you four have taken it upon yourselves to be some kind of detectives looking into this murder.
Somebody's got to.
Justice has got to be served.
It's very true, and I'm glad someone's doing it. I mean, personally, the Obiyashi's not really my kind of people. Never tipped. They were always late on payments. But if someone's got to solve the murder, better you than me.
So these drunks and idiots who whisper rumors about the whole family, which of these drunks were whispering them contemptuously? Who had it out for them?
It's tough to say. I mean, when does fantasy turn into reality? I mean, some people were less than thrilled at their reluctance to be true members of the village, but do I think anyone would have killed them over that? It's hard to say. maybe the AOC did it.
And do you believe in the AOC?
At this point, someone from a back booth shouts out, "I believe in the AOC!"
Yeah, get in line. So Smith.
Over wanders a dwarf who is dressed in black leather. He has a very large wooden cross hanging from his neck. Stinks of garlic.
Ooh.
And he has several pouches filled with trinkets attached to his belt.
And what do you believe? Why do you believe in the AOC?
Oh, because
Good question.
because other people don't believe in them. The signs are all around that they exist. Acts of God, if you will.
You know there are other gods.
Of course, but the study of the gods ain't really my cup of tea, if you will. I'm more of studying in the supernatural, the paranormal, if
Vampires.
you will. He sticks out his hand to just the center of your crowd. Bagan Dankil's my name. Ghost adventurer is my game.
Give him a handshake.
It is a very firm and aggressive
I
handshake.
give the same. Sometimes because I don't mean to, it just kind of happens.
That hand's gonna smell like garlic for a week.
Probably.
I got the glove, it's fine.
You have to burn that glove.
Might have to.
Now, I've heard the rumors that this Saho Obayashi has been murdered. Some people are saying it might have been a villager who was pissed off at what happened last night. Now, I disagree with this completely. The fact that it took place on Samhain, the night when the spirits cross over from the afterlife and visit with the living. What better time for some sort of creature of the night, something that goes bump in the night, to come out and exact revenge on someone who was less than gracious to what they are all about, if you will. You know what I'm saying?
Mr. Damgill, you are apparently an expert on the paranormal.
You're damn right I'm an expert. He
All
pulls
right.
out a
Jesus.
fairly large book, slams it down in the bar,
Drinking.
and opens it up. It is filled with essentially chicken scratch. None of you can really read the handwriting. And he's flipping through, and he says, "Now, based on the notes that I've found from my travels all around Angoro, I would say we have a couple different examples of what it could be. It could be elemental. It could be some kind of demon that Saho maybe made a deal with. Maybe it was a revenant. Maybe it was a zombie. Maybe a wraith. Who knows? Maybe it was even just a ghost."
Friend, may I present you with the evidence we have, and you may tell me what creature possibly is our perpetrator.
Why, you certainly can. You've seen the body?
I certainly have.
Why didn't you say this before? What evidence can you offer me up?
All right, well, muddy handprint by the windowsill, bloody nightshirt,
Okay.
Windowsill.
window. Let's see, eyes gouged out of the corpse, neck broken, and an emerald stone left upon the body on the chest.
Well, I think we can ignore the Emerald Stone. That doesn't seem like it lines up with anything that I've seen in my travels. Well, let's see here. Well, you said that the neck was broken. That implies that it had to have some sort of tangential, touching things, if you will. So we can rule out wraiths, possibly will-o'-the-wisps. This leads me to believe maybe it was a demon or a devil, something that, again, can actually physically touch the victim, if you will. Did you see anything else? Any sort of smells? Any sort of tastes, if you will? Anything that seemed any cold spots, if you will?
No, but the emerald on his chest seems rather important.
Why are you getting hung up on the emerald? Stop paying attention to the emerald.
Red herring. If I may ask, how long have you been in town?
I've been in town probably at this point a week. Everyone talks about, again, the AOC, how they will sometimes visit relatives who are still alive. I felt as any self-respecting ghost adventurer would, that I had to come and witness it for myself.
Did
and
you
add it to my book, if you will. Did you see the book?
I look at John Smith and I say, a week? You let him there that long? You haven't kicked him out?
He just kind of shrugs his shoulders and says, he pays good and for the most part keeps to himself.
Where the hell does he make the money?
Did you give blood, Mr. Dansgill?
I did, as a matter of fact. I always try to include myself so that the locals will take me in under and not see me as some sort of an outsider or a threat.
Oh, good luck with that. The Obiyashis have been here almost a year. They're still not part of the community.
Well, I have
Being part of the community doesn't necessarily require time. It just requires action.
Thanks for the history lesson.
Yes, this one's this one.
So how often have you found solid evidence of any of this stuff? You ever seen a demon?
Define solid.
Let's ask someone else.
He basically closes his book, slightly dejected that you're now ignoring him, and kind of wanders off back to his seat.
Do you think he's considered the fact that if he continues to do these rituals in all these places, that some of them contradict each other in their beliefs and their actions, that he might be angering gods or demons himself?
By the way, I'm going to go
He's
over
plan
to...
D. If we get there. Bottom of the barrel. If we need to, we'll go to him again.
Sorry, you said plan D, and I just heard D. I'm going to ask John Smith, or I'm going to go over to John Smith. I'm just going to say, well, man, it's terrible what's happened to the Obiyashis. Whether someone's accepted in a community or not, a loss like that to a family, it's hard.
It's a matter of acceptance, not time.
Well done.
But it's good to hear that everyone else in the town's all right. Have you heard anything?
Day's still young. We're getting closer to mid-morning at this point. No one else has come screaming, saying that there's a dead body anywhere.
Not yet.
The most I've heard is just that people are hungover, people are hurting from that. But
Do we know who the woman was when Gimpy, your boy Nobuo, was on the other side of the fire and we saw him being led away
I
by
think
a
that was
woman?
his mother.
Was that?
It was.
Kim
Oh,
was
yeah.
Bitch.
Alright, well, I'm going to throw my 2 cents in here. Talking just amongst this
Just
crew?
table talking.
Yeah, no one overhearing.
is John Smith?
No, I walk over. That was my conversation with John. I'm going to go join these
Join
folks
us again.
Okay.
and say, well, I don't think it's the AOC.
No.
Certainly not.
Nor do I think it's paranormal.
Last night, there was a person behind me at the festival, and they had a pebble, and they cut their hand, and they threw it in the fire. But this is that pebble.
Ew.
Gross.
So their pebble's missing, but no one else knows about it.
Do they know?
No, they don't. So
His sleight of hand was good enough that whoever threw it wouldn't have noticed. Right.
Yeah.
So nothing's happened to anyone else. I just wanted to see if the AOC were really going to do something about it.
Every time you're genuine to lie.
Pardon?
Every time you act nice, just kind of bullshit.
The real question is every time I act like an asshole, really me being an asshole?
I imagine so.
Probably, yeah.
Not that I don't like you, but yes.
I think the tough thing to reconcile is Guy Castavet's story.
Hmm.
He told us a great deal.
Should we go back to the
Obayashi.
Obayashi? Thank you. I was gonna say Ashihara, but that's where we
Talk
are.
to the wife.
I do want to know more about that bloody night dress off to the side.
See if it's still there.
Maybe we can learn more about which of these rumors may or may not be true.
Or we could go to your local library.
And knowing is half the battle.
Yeah.
The other half is violence.
The the harlot, Lorraine Mancy.
See, you're not taking notes. You can't just be cheating off of
That's
mine.
fair enough.
Yeah.
I'll start. So
My shitty ass handwriting. Sure.
yeah, it's part of the reason. I'm looking for what does this say? I'm gonna go over to John Smith and I'm just gonna say, hey, last thing, have you heard about anyone being out and around the Obayashis? I heard Lorraine Massey was out and around there with another young woman. You hear anything like that?
I haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah, go back to the Obayashis.
I think
Get
so.
some answers.
Should we let Smith know?
Where we're going?
Yeah. Or should we keep this secret?
I don't think it's any secret that we're working with them, at least, with the family. I'm sure some folks see us walk out that way.
You can see how the kids are doing, too.
Yeah, too.
And if there's some kind of paranormal thing, maybe we should take another look at that body.
Yeah.
Hell, maybe we should take the garlic boy.
You know, part of me wants to agree with you.
Bagan.
Hey, garlic boy. Bagan.
He looks up very quickly.
I give him the head nod. Come here a minute.
Closes his book, slides it into a one of his pouches, and wanders over.
I'm just gonna walk out.
Awkwardly, he's just standing there. Like,
Come on now.
and, all right, he follows along. He tries to swagger, but it's just
swagger.
awkward.
He's a dwarf,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's so short, it's just awkward.
So waddle.
probably.
Now we're gonna take you down to the Obayashis. And we'll let you inspect the body if it's still there. At least let you inspect the room where the crime is. Try not to bother the family too much.
How do we know it's still there?
I'm just guessing.
We gotta get there quick. Or should we stop for snacks?
That's just
Every hour we just like in and out.
that's just it. We've been away from it. How do we know the wife hasn't moved it? Someone else.
We should.
The murderer.
For all we know, they won't be there when we get there. Let's go.
What'd you do with that teacup?
I left it. I should have taken it.
Should have drank it, see if you go crazy. Gouge D's eyes out.
If she could reach.
Clown.
That's terrifying.
And then she'll snap your neck.
Yeah.
It's like a squirrel.
All right, so you're wandering back to the Obayashi household. You notice that some of the people you're passing are kind of giving you sidelong glances. I think you can infer at this point that they know, that most people know that you're sort of aligning yourself with the Obayashis.
News travels fast.
So are they looking kind of wary of us? Or are we getting the same looks the Obayashis get?
I'd say slightly wary.
Okay.
Like they kind of
Don't want to be interrogated.
yeah, they're they
Or
look,
shouting at by saying, you murderer!
Maybe they don't want nicknames either. Gimpy, garlic boy, cowman.
they're basically as they
Little
see
mo
you
with
coming,
the
they
gimpy
try to
leg.
just kind of go on their way and not make eye contact or get involved with whatever it is you five are now doing.
If they don't have cool costumes to steal, I'm going to leave them alone. And so I'm assuming that Bagan Dankil is just spouting bullshit the whole way,
Pretty
like
much.
telling us about stuff like
Yeah,
little
he's
brother
regaling
syndrome.
you with a story of how he was nearly possessed by a ghost when he was examining some hidden passageways in the Thieves' Road several months back.
Sure.
You smell a little bit of bullshit, but
I think a lot of stories that are around the Thieves' Road smack of the same taste a bit.
and so you return to the Obayashi household.
The door fixed yet?
There's just like a wooden board, basically where the door is.
Stronger than it was.
Not for long.
Oh, damn it.
We just send Flintlock in.
Or I can go so I can gently move it.
Maybe you should knock.
I could.
Oh, knocking. There's a good idea.
I knocked just
Sit down.
through it.
No response to the knock.
This is Obayashi.
Eureka comes to the door and awkwardly pushes the door aside.
On Goro PD. We're here to ask you a few questions.
We brought a gentleman with us who...
He awkwardly pushes himself through and basically is like, take me to where the body is. Where's the body? I must examine it.
God,
There will be latent ectoplasm if the spirit touched the body.
I'm gonna hold him out for a moment longer. Just like hand on his face because he's a little dwarf guy.
Yeah, we're gonna...
Hold on.
We have a gentleman who we think can investigate and maybe find some answers about what happened to your father.
And he promises to be respectful
And quiet.
and quiet.
He looks at you, both of you, and your size, and just immediately shuts up and just... Kimiko pushes the door open a little bit further, beckons you in, says, you're more than welcome to continue looking in there. However, my father's body was taken away about an hour ago.
By whom?
By some of the local villagers. We will be burying it later this afternoon.
Does he look upset at all that his dad is dead?
This is Kimiko, right?
This is Eureka, the daughter.
Oh, shit, yeah, sorry.
She
2019.
Again, she looks upset, but she's basically just trying to...
She's stoic.
Yeah. Kimiko is sitting in the kitchen. She looks pissed that you five are back. And Nobu is nowhere around that you can see.
I'm just gonna look at Bagan. Like, you just go do your thing. And I'm gonna go... Is she, like, at the table?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna sit lightly on the chair so I don't, like, accidentally go through it.
It's also made of paper.
Damn it. I'm gonna go, alright, Mrs. Obayashi, we would like to discuss your husband with you. And just to set the bar at an air of truthfulness and straightforwardness. I feel I will be truthful with you first, and to balance things out, you can be truthful with me if I ask a couple questions. Is that alright, ma'am?
She hocks a loogie right on the table, gets up, and walks out the back door.
I'm gonna grab her arm.
Careful.
Not gonna, like, break it, just like you're not, like, hold on now. No. Stop. Deceased. Desist. Deceased.
Freudian slip.
I don't want your help. We don't want your help. Adventurers like you are nothing but a bunch of dirty glory hounds who stomp all over people like us. Leave us alone. She tries to shirk her arm.
Show her the
free.
gem.
Alright, yeah, so, I feel like you might know something about this out there. Gem that was found on your husband's chest.
Roll insight.
I'm gonna try to shock her by saying,
Penis.
your husband being the green hand of Ryojin. Jade hand, thank you.
Yep.
Green film.
Jade's green.
There you go. 24.
Things like a bookstore.
yeah.
She looks slightly shocked when she realizes that it is a gemstone.
Alright.
How does she react to my assertion?
Again with shock. What did you roll?
Oh, I didn't.
No.
What am I rolling for?
I would just say insight just to see what she's reacting to.
8.
She looks shocked, but not in like a "you found me out" shocked. Like a "why are you saying this to me?"
I'm gonna, ma'am, I said air truthfulness, so I'll be truthful with you now if you be truthful with me. And I'm gonna take off my hat and bandana to reveal that I am a machine and not a man.
Oh.
My race is Warforged, so I look kind of like the Iron Man suit with like circular eyes. My mouth actually moves,
Ah.
Oh, damn!
Oh shit.
so I can drink water.
She's starting to freak out now because she didn't realize that you were not human.
Cyborg.
Yep. Ma'am, it's fine. I get that reaction. That's all right. Now see, I'm being.
It's not fine. It's so weird.
Jesus, relax, Gar.
Totally sensationalized it.
I'm gonna walk over, balance this out with
Indeed. Now, I've
going
shown
off.
you my secret.
Flipping
Perhaps
my
we
leg.
can discuss uneven ground now, ma'am.
Yuriko from the doorway says, "What do you want to know?" And Kimiko says, "Yuriko, they don't need to know." And Yuriko responds with, "Yes, they do. They're trying to help, Mom. What do you need to know?"
Your father's enemies, why someone might kill him and leave a gemstone behind, a clear form of a message. If why you came here, clearly trying to keep your heads low. Why your mother ran out last night, covered in blood. Got an eyewitness.
That's her you're speaking to. Speaking to the mother.
I'm speaking to Yuriko because she
Yes,
asked the
okay.
question.
At that, Kimiko says, "I did no such thing. I did not run out covered in blood. I told you what happened. I woke up this morning.
Your hands were covered in blood, ma'am. This morning.
I told you it was because I touched the body to make sure he was dead."
No,
No,
you
I
said
thought
you
you said
might
you
have
weren't
touched
sure.
the body. You weren't sure, and you had gaps in your memory.
Well, maybe I said that this morning, but now I'm certain that I touched his face once I saw that he was dead.
All right, Yuriko, can you answer any of the questions I have asked?
She sits down in a chair by the window, kind of rolls her head back, and says, "By this time, I'm sure you've heard some of the rumors that are about us, about my father. In the interest of clarity, they're true. My father was known as the Jade Hand. He dealt in black market gems to different people throughout Ryujin. The Jade Hand was basically to protect his identity. He worked as basically a member of the government, basically his day job, but then he also did this. As she's regaling all this, Kimiko is just shooting her the dirtiest look, and it looks like she would just throttle her if she could.
So what about Hyde? Is he still out there, still after you? We can protect you.
I don't know if he's still out there. Leonidas Hyde was, I'm sure you've probably heard at this point, a gangster in Ryujin. He was helping my dad with a job he was doing for the Emperor himself. My dad, as was his wont, screwed over Mr. Hyde. From what I had heard, Mr. Hyde lost a significant amount of gold on the deal. And there were rumors that Mr. Hyde was after us because of this. It's also why Nobuo, and its point, Kimiko says, "Enough! We're not going to talk about Nobuo here." And Riko says, "Oh, okay, Mom, okay." Because of these threats we had, we escaped Ryujin. My dad sold off some of his private stash of jewels and got us out of the city. And we came here several months ago to lay low and just to hide out. At this point, Kimiko says, I should have just left him. He's an arrogant bastard. Could never leave well enough alone. This is all his fault, and Yuriko is basically just saying, "Mom, it's not his fault. We all agreed that this was going to be a second chance. We've been keeping to ourselves because we couldn't take the chance that one of the villagers or the farmers who trades with Ryujin would go there and be a blabbermouth, and Hyde would find out that we were here.
Looks like he has, though.
It's possible. I'm inclined to agree with you, but I don't know. I mean, we did everything we could to make sure that there was no way he could have found us, so unless someone within us four talked, I can't say as how Hyde would have figured out where we were.
Where's Nobuo right now? Nobuo.
The one who's been constantly ridiculed, couldn't fit in.
He's in his room. I don't think he's taking our father's death very well.
It's understandable.
So are you attached to this place? Why don't you go?
And at this point, Kimiko is just like, why should we?
Well, whoever did your husband in might be coming back to do the rest.
What do you mean the rest?
The rest of
It was him who Hyde wanted, and now he's gotten him.
Yeah, but how much do you know about Hyde and their business? Enough to overthrow?
More than she's saying, I think.
Indeed.
I only know what I've heard through the grapevine of Ryujin, just that he is...
I'm gonna block the back door. I'm gonna stand in that doorway.
Okay.
What did I miss, by the way?
Nothing
Everything.
much. Still learning.
Yeah, still learning the backstory and...
Do we know roughly what Leonidas Hyde looks like?
So he's a Genasi.
Yeah, that's at this point.
Angelic
You would
blood.
know that he's Genasi, but...
What's a Genasi?
It's a half genie.
Oh.
And they come in several forms: fire, air, water, earth. And they have like elemental abilities depending on that. But I don't
So
know.
they don't look like a dwarf with a bizarre interest in the occult?
No, they're either red, blue, green, or gray, or rocky, purple. Mine played a purple gemstone, Earth Genasi. They stand out.
So is Bagan just going ham in the other room?
What's he doing?
You just hear him
Like
muttering.
licking the walls.
Yeah.
yeah, basically. He's, like on
Sounds
the
a
rack.
It's a little meter.
Yeah.
I mean, you can just hear it going on. Like, you're not actually seeing what's happening.
So what do? We try to get them to the Thieves' Road, get them out of here?
They don't want to go. They want to stay here.
We're not. And Kimiko says, that's right, we're not leaving.
All right, enjoy having your son picked on for the rest of his life, and you'll live as outcasts within the ranks of these people who don't want you here.
Yeah,
And they've done nothing to protect you or your husband. Loathe him as you will.
Fair enough.
There's the slightest chance that your son could have his bad arm surgically removed and replaced with something kind of like this. Not sure how well it would work, but there's a chance.
I don't know if you want to turn him into a freak.
Yeah, he'd be even more.
That's just hurtful.
That's just hurtful.
Whatever you say, Gimpy.
What would you call him? He couldn't be gimpy anymore.
We were
Full Metal
told the
Alchemist.
same kinds of things by different sorcerers and healers back in Ryujin. And we told them the same thing we're going to tell you. We don't need no dirty magic to take care of ourselves. We saw what happened during the Great War and how magic fucked everyone over. Why would we have magic screw over Nobuo's life?
Ma'am, I'm run by magic and so far hasn't hurt me.
Yeah, but you're not us. You're not like us. You're an abomination.
That is also hurtful. And I'm just going to
She's
hold
got
my
a
tongue,
point.
ma'am. And be a gentleman.
Do you
here.
have a tongue?
But I do not like you. Would like to make that known.
Now we're even.
He's being honest.
I'm more worried about your children's safety than your safety, ma'am, and possibly more worried about their safety than you are.
That hat fits you really well, because when I glance over, I'll see your eyes, but then you'll dip, and I won't be able to. It works perfectly for the whole mysterious thing.
Thank you.
You said your piece. Now you can go.
You will not accept our help, our assistance?
I will not.
Eureka, would you and your brother accept our help and assistance?
Wait, quick question. I might have missed this while I was getting more drugs. Coffee, for those listening to the recording. Did Kimiko say she was, like, angry with her husband?
Yeah,
All
for
right.
sure. She definitely had a beef, and she doesn't really care that he's dead.
Yeah.
She kind of said good riddance.
Yeah. Granted that, well, I mean, her reaction this morning might have just been because, like, she could have been killed too, I guess.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask something to that effect. Were you upset when he was killed?
Of course. You know, I may have hated him, but I also loved him.
I just want to know who did this. I don't want it to be someone from my hometown. I don't feel safe anymore.
Well, we do have to find the culprit at the very least. Perpetrator needs to be perpetrated.
I'm gonna get Garlic Boy out of your house. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's, that man's a damn fool.
We did just
Get him
forget
by
about
the
it.
scruff of the neck. Drag him
Wait,
out.
no, I'm still looking at that.
At this point, Eureka makes eye contact with you and just kind of gives you a head nod, and she wanders out the front door. Kimiko is busying herself preparing some food. It's basically just ignoring all of you at this point.
Alright, I'll follow Eureka.
She has wandered over basically to the edge of the lake.
Outside, I have my hat back on and everything back where it should be.
Including the
Yes.
bandana.
I'm sorry about my mother.
Yeah, she's just upset.
I thought you were going to say she's just a
No help.
That too.
You know, she has always been difficult my entire life. They weren't. I mean, I should know better than anyone. You know, when she was pregnant with me and Nobuo, all of the physicians said she was just pregnant with Nobuo. And then when she gave birth, it was revealed that she had 2 children inside of her, and she has always viewed me as something unnatural, something that shouldn't have existed.
I understand that.
Look, I'm gonna tell you something, but you have to understand, I'm just telling you this because it's what I saw. I saw my mother leave the house last night. I woke up, I heard something, I don't know what it was. I opened the door to my room and looked down the hall, and I saw Kimiko standing by the living room. She looked back, and I ducked back into my room. I thought she had heard me and was looking at me. When I peeked back around the edge of my door frame again, she was heading out towards the front lawn. She had a strange look on her face, a look I'd never seen in her before. Now you have to understand, I don't think she killed my father, you know. She's under a lot of stress right now. Our life was very comfortable in Ryujin. She was a famous no-theater actress. And so to go from that to having to, you know, make our own clothes and basically live on a pittance compared to what my father was able to bring in with his line of work, it hasn't been easy on any of us. That being said, she did love my father. I don't think she would have killed him. So I can't explain why she left last night, but you know, since you are investigating, and I want you to keep investigating. You know, my mother and my brother they might scorn you and call you a freak, but I want answers. I want closure.
Young lady, have my word that justice will be delivered.
Thank you. This morning, when my mom was screaming, and after she found the body, she didn't have any mud on her feet. And I just thought that was odd. If she went outside, why would she not have had mud on her feet?
Got some ideas about that, but we'll look into it.
Thank you. And she wanders back off into the house.
Do you guys think there's a changeling afoot?
A doppelganger.
Whoa.
Was there mud on the floors? I mean, we'd been going like in and out all goddamn morning. And I mean, you also charged in the front door, so I imagine you made a fucking mess. But the house now, I know this is meta knowledge, Gar doesn't know any of this, but is the place a mess? Like a muddy mess on the floor, or has it been cleaned? Or?
I'd say it's pretty muddy, and I mean, doors been kicked open, people coming in and out.
Yeah.
Garlic boy probably
Someone
walking
spat on
around.
the table.
Someone has spat on the table.
What is an impressive loogie?
She just smears it in. It's like seasoning a
Bacon?
cast iron skillet. That's how you keep the table nice.
There's a bacon.
So I'm gonna grab a Bagan Dankil, and I'm gonna haul him out of the room. Hopefully he's found something useful.
There's some bacon.
I'm going to talk with Bagan
Okay.
about what he saw and observed.
Okay. Well, you know, there wasn't any ectoplasm that I could tell, and the fact that the body wasn't there it's very distressing. I should have been here earlier. Maybe I could have found something else. You know, that handprint was very interesting. You know, again, it aligns with the idea I had that it has to be something tangential. It's not, you know, a wraith or anything. So I'm thinking maybe it was a zombie, possibly, but I don't know where a zombie would have come from. You know, possibly also an elemental. And at this point, he's just kind of like flipping through his notes.
You have any experience with creatures that can transform themselves? Take on the appearance of others?
I mean, they say that some will-o'-the-wisps can occasionally take on...
I'm talking about something that's got a body 100% of the time.
I've heard rumors that possibly vampires could change form. You know, there are rumors also of death knights that can take possession of different suits of armor. So maybe that would alter their appearance.
Maybe she was a suit of armor all along.
We all have our own armor on the outside.
You know, I would
Doesn't hurt so many
I
levels.
can't really even feel
Not harder.
You know, at this point, I would have to consult my notes a little bit further and try and find a more definitive answer as to what this could possibly be.
If we find the body and let you see it, would that help?
It's possible, but I mean, at this point, it's been a couple hours. Any sort of latent otherworldliness to it may have already evaporated. It might just be a body at this point.
They might have cleaned it by now, too.
Where is the body? Do we know?
Farmers took it.
Remember what they're doing to the pig on the tree?
They're doing to him now.
So, do we need Bagan anymore?
Don't you kill him.
Unless
Just slash his throat and leave him.
Bang, why don't you do some research, come back to us, see what you find.
You got it.
All right.
Take a bath.
Bagan, I just want to let you know that I've heard some rumors around town about ghost appearances.
Bagan, did you kill him?
I'm just curious
So,
as
Bagan,
to why you
if
killed
Okay. Well, so, Bagan, I've heard that there are ghost sightings around.
I've heard that too.
Now,
So I'm here.
I've got some tips for you. I've heard that you can find ghosts making strange noises in haylofts throughout the town. But you can only
You don't say so.
but you can only see them on certain nights. So keep an ear out.
You have to-
And you might
You have to be very quiet.
Definitely. I will definitely look into that.
Anyways, I heard it's a ghost of a woman people have been seeing.
Yes.
Something like that. But that might keep you busy.
You got it.
Lauren Mossy. Slightly different name.
Go back to Guy Committee. She's been dead for 20 years.
Oh, God. I've been boning a ghost. It's fantastic.
That was an ectoplasm.
All right, so I assume Bagan.
Yeah, he kind of, again, tries to swagger, but it's just super awkward.
Oh, that's a bad limp.
You hurt my feelings in there a little bit.
That was fun.
Alright, fair enough.
In character.
I don't think you're getting an apology out of Gar.
At this point, it's
I don't know
now,
why I keep hating all your characters.
It's because you only like people who are like made of flesh and blood and are like normal, run-of-the-mill people.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he's a goddamn racist.
It's not even just a race thing.
At this point, it's now getting on towards like early afternoon.
What was your last character?
A Earth Genasi whose skin was partially made of purple gemstones.
Okay, that was your last
Casted
character.
spells and shit.
Yeah.
Sure.
He was an arcane archer.
Nice.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, what do we do now?
That's what I was about to ask.
Well, we could, this has worked on some occasions for me, but walk in the middle of town square, calling out the murderer.
Just accuse him? That's D's thing.
No, not specifically walking up and saying, John Smith, you murdered Obayashi, but simply walking in the middle of the street and saying to the murderer of Soha Obayashi, I'm calling you out, and then you have a duel and you kill the guy.
Where the hell are you from?
Home.
Alright.
Like I said, it worked like twice.
Wait, is that night dress still there? Should we look at that? Whose blood it is, maybe? Whose night dress it is?
What night dress?
Wasn't there a night dress just...
Why don't you roll a perception check if you're all outside?
Oh,
You see Bagan wearing it?
no, that's a cold 7.
19.
What?
You do
7.
see it.
Total?
And it's still there.
Alright.
Do you pick it up?
Not this time I can.
Okay.
We're not
Actually,
careful about evidence anymore.
Can you?
Is it Kimiko size?
That's true. Is
Yeah.
it...
Guys, I found this!
It looks
Fix
like
your
it
face.
would be worn by an average-sized woman.
Okay.
And yes, it is still covered in blood, but the blood is starting to dry, so it's a little crusty.
It would concern me if it was no longer bloody.
She
Someone
laundered
washed it and put it
back.
back.
Wait, does this mean that someone came out of there and discarded their clothing and ran off into the night bloody and naked?
I don't know. That's what I'm...
Why don't we
curious
take
about.
that and show it to Rico?
I'm gonna look around to see if I
Yeah,
see if
see
I
if
see
it's
any
from- if
If we
Moms?
ask Kimiko, she's just going to lie.
Should we ask at Yuriko's bedroom window instead of walking through the door again? Because I don't think Kimiko's going to walk.
As long as you don't break through it.
You guys help me.
You know,
pick it
I'm
up.
going to
Is
stay
this
outside.
yours?
Fair enough.
Go blind for 5 seconds.
Is this your mom's?
That
I'll need
lady's
help
also
picking it up.
racist.
Yeah.
It hurts. No, it doesn't hurt that much.
I'll go with
like how
Ginny.
abilities literally say you can just hide behind people that are taller than you.
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
she
You
can
move through their
I think-
spaces. Too.
Yeah, like
Yep, that's
gnomes
what
and
it says.
halflings can like occupy the same space as regular-sized people.
Move through the space of larger creatures.
So I am going to awkwardly go up to the south side of the house and try to look into the closet, and I don't find a window. I don't know the layout of the house, so I don't know which window to go to.
Right.
So I'm just like trying to pretend like I know what's going on,
I'm
and then I look to
staring at
Ginny.
this
Yeah,
Like,
I just...
which room is Arrigo's?
I don't... Why would I know which room is hers?
I think.
You were in the house before.
Yeah, you were in the house. I would
Yeah,
say.
actually, you
That's
were right
true.
outside of her room.
Yeah, I would say
Okay.
you could have inferred basically from,
from
when you
us
found the
decorating.
body which room was which.
Okay. So I go find her and ask her, is this your mother's? Do you recognize
Like
this?
rap on the window, I suppose. Get her
I could sneak through the window. I'm little. Help me up.
Okay.
Pass me the...
I'll just hold my hand like a foot off the ground. Just,
if it's open.
Enrico looks at it and says, "Yeah, that does look like the night dress my mother wore last night. But again, it was just I just saw it in the moonlight, so it's hard for me.
Does she still have that night dress?
Is she clothed?
You'd have to look in the in her closet. We downsized, so at this point she may have like 2 or 3 night dresses.
then it must be hers.
Why would it be outside with blood on it?
Oh well, the robot said something about a shape changer. So let's confirm.
I'm not in this powwow.
Jenny, see if you can find its like. Bring it back here.
Like, sneak and look in her wardrobe, kind of peer through it, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
No one notices me. Do I have to roll for,
Roll
stealth?
Yeah, buddy.
Alright.
And I'm gonna be like,
28.
Damn.
You're basically like the wind. No one hears you.
just go under the door.
Completely silent. You find one night dress in the closet, but that's it. You
Just
don't find two. You don't find multiple.
Because Rico said there was two
And they
or
look
three.
to be of a similar make.
I'm assuming those aren't bloody.
No, none of the
That would be
clothes. None of the clothes in the closet are bloody, and they appear to be both men's and women's clothes.
Can I, like, peek through their dirty laundry, see if there's blood in any of that stuff?
Oh shit.
Roll an investigation check.
Hell yeah.
There it is.
And I'm still like, Jenny, did you go yet? Where?
18.
You don't find any bloody clothes, but hidden, you do find a loose floorboard towards the back of the closet.
Oh.
Those
Alright.
halfling senses.
So I pull it open and look inside, I take it? Or
Okay.
can I?
You certainly can.
Yeah.
You pull it open, you find a small, almost jewelry-sized box. Do you open it?
I'm gonna open that too.
Check it for traps.
Inside the box
Oh shit.
Oh.
is... There's a knife. It has some sapphires in the hilt. There is a necklace made up of probably 24 rubies. And there are several rings. Each one has a very large diamond on it. And then at the very bottom of the box is a small, very plain gold wedding band.
Ooh. What was the first item? I'm sorry.
A knife.
It
Knife.
was a
Sapphires.
knife with the sapphires in the hilt.
Is the box also very fancy, or is it just
No, it's just a ring. It's just a
Okay.
ordinary
It
box.
says Amazon on the side.
Smile.
Okay. Now I'd like to know
Ongoing
whether
post.
Kimiko has her wedding band, or if the dad, the Obayashi, if he still has his. Is one of them not wearing their wedding band, or is it someone else's?
Very hard.
Hmm.
Because the husband's gone.
Yeah, we'd have to find
She's
his
upset
body.
with us.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm quite that sneaky. Don't mind me checking your fingers.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we could probably show it to Eriko.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we could go back to Eriko, see if she knows. Like, maybe she knows one of them doesn't wear the ring all the time.
So you taking the box?
Taking the box or just the ring?
Just the ring. I'm gonna put the box back.
Okay. Put it back.
That might be kind of bulky. Or how big is it? If it has a knife and jewelry, it might be kind of big and bulky. Hard to...
I mean,
carry
it's not a
around.
very large knife. It seems like it's more ornamental than anything.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean,
Like
again,
a cigar box?
cigar box.
I mean, even at 3 feet tall, that's big for me, so...
That's true.
So I don't know where I'd put it. Just...
Just hold the football.
Alright. Yeah, okay.
Roll stealth again, just to see if you can sneak across the hall.
25.
Holy shit.
Yeah, again, no one hears you as you go from
Oh!
Saho and Kimiko's bedroom into Eriko's. So now you are in Eriko's bedroom. What do you do?
Gar is standing here very awkwardly, like he doesn't know how to make small talk.
How about this what?
do you like flowers?
Alright. So, since I did bring the whole box, I'll put the box down, but show her the ring. Is this one of your parents? Does this belong to one of your parents?
It looks like it's my mother's. I think she was kind of pissed when she found out that he was a fancy jewel dealer, but only gave her standard
Plain gold
plain gold band.
Also a good
But then
way.
again, she never seemed unhappy with it, so I don't know why she's wouldn't be wearing it now. Maybe she just thinks it would be too noticeable, and someone might take note of it, and it could give us away.
She's picking up guys at Green Door. I'm not married.
How does she react to that?
She's slightly taken aback, and she says, not as far as I'm aware. Again, we've all had our problems, but we've all been sticking close together, so...
The villagers here might not be her type.
I was kind of kidding.
They're all very sweaty.
You wouldn't happen to know if your dad still wore his, or are you pretty sure it's hers?
I'm almost positive it's hers.
Okay.
I believe my father's was a bit more wider, larger.
Okay.
Should we
Should we
leave
give it
the ring
back
with
to
you?
her? Or
Yeah.
take it?
Where did you find it?
Where did you find it?
Do I admit to her that I just snuck off, or does she know I snuck off?
She would know that you snuck
Yeah, she
off
probably
because
noticed
you
my
kind
absence.
She heard our conversation.
Yeah.
She'd noticed my absence. Okay. I found a loose.
Floorboard.
I found a loose floorboard and found it in there in this jewelry box. Do you know any of these other items?
Whoa.
The jewelry, the knife.
She looks in it and she says, these
Must have been a jewelry dealer.
these look like some items from my father's personal jewel collection. He said he sold off most of them to help us escape, but I didn't think that he would have kept any of them. I guess he did. These are very nice, but they're from a different part of my past. She closes the box and kind of puts it off to the side.
Well, you can sell it now and make a new start.
Perhaps I will.
Maybe you should think about taking that brother of yours and just parting ways with Mother. Bitter as it may be.
I'll leave this with you. I won't take it.
I will consider that. Perhaps that is for the best at this point.
You're a strong and smart woman. You can make your way.
Thank you.
They say that he can't tend the fields, but I know he can. Your brother's endured a lot.
So what have I missed?
Actually, a fair bet.
Yeah, I figured.
I'm trying to think what happened when you
She
left.
found a secret cache of jewelry.
I snuck
As
away.
well as a
yes.
wedding
I snuck
ring.
away pretty smoothly.
Yes.
28, and then it came back with 25.
Mhm, yeah. So she gave the jewelry and the ring back to
Eriko?
Eriko.
Eriko.
Yes.
She said it was her mother's ring.
And also, it looks like there is a night dress missing.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not one unaccounted for,
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
which was kind of my suspicion when you started talking about shape changers. I think we could take our leave now. I'll get my dwarf and we'll get out of here.
Very good.
You're a dwarf?
Whatever, the dwarf.
He's
I
gone.
thought, yeah,
He's gone.
you wandered
Oh
off.
shit, where'd he go?
We sent him off, remember?
You just slap him on the ass like a wild stallion and let him go.
He's gonna go investigate hay lofts for.
He's gonna get arrested for being a peeping Tom. He's gonna get lynched.
Poor guy.
Which I find hilarious in character and out of character.
Fair enough.
Okay.
A little bit make interesting reading for his book.
While this has all been going on, can I investigate the area where she found the nightshirt?
Sure.
Has it been long enough that I
Find
can
any
look
pubes?
for fingerprints again? Or, sorry,
Again?
footprints?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just looking. For,
I rolled a net 1 the first time.
I'm looking for tracks, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, me too. So
So what would you like me to roll for?
Investigation.
Footprint checking.
15.
This is all for intelligence. An unnatural 20.
There are 2 sets of tracks going to and from the lake area, basically where the nightshirt was found, up to the house and then back.
Like into the lake?
You can't tell.
Okay.
I mean, it seems like they stop around where the nightshirt was, but again, lake water kind of splashing around.
Not
It's
too much,
hard to tell.
All the blood everywhere. It's D finding.
You basically find the same stuff.
And what was that again?
Is
Sorry,
it-
I get in the habit of not listening when it's like, oh, I'm not supposed to know this.
There's
It's,
footprints going to and from the bushes where the nightshirt was found. They
Yeah,
go
like-
to the water.
Yeah, to the area of the lake. D, you thinking maybe we should visit the docks if anybody grabbed a boat last night?
Sure.
Wait for our...
But I think we'd be looking for a very... You didn't notice this, but I know Gar and I did. We'd be looking for a very strong person to swim out to a boat and back in that water in the middle of the night. They are a resilient one, I can tell you.
They were all moored. The boats.
Oh, well, I'm saying like to get in and out. I would assume that the person would have to swim to the boat, or could
Where
they have brought
pulled it up?
Okay.
Do you see marks where they dragged a boat?
Do I see marks where they dragged a boat?
You do not see marks where they dragged the boat.
I don't see marks where they dragged a boat.
He hasn't seen marks where they dragged a boat.
So
No boat marks.
No
they
boat marks,
could
just
have.
footprints.
They could have brought the.
Boat prints.
They could have brought the boat up, or they'd have to swim. Either way, we're dealing with someone who knows well how cold that water is.
And someone who also punched a man's eyes out and
Yeah.
broke his neck.
This is a... Sounds like someone who can handle a bit of cold water.
Could it have been the AOC? Are they real?
Well, the gods are real or not, well... I'm sure the gods are real, but I don't think this was done by the AOC.
I don't know about the AOC, but I know in the Highlands, when you hear the wind whispering, it's Allura slumbering. You can hear her on the wind.
Well, I can tell you, in the dead of night, in the middle of the woods, it's the wind. I don't think it's the AOC because this seems directly connected to Saho's past and his dealings as a gem merchant.
This feels
This
too...
hide.
does not seem like a slighted god who is missing a few pebbles.
This feels more deliberate. It's like eyes gouged out and a broken neck, sound like he'd simply woke up dead.
To the docks, then.
The docks.
But first, we'll get something to eat. It's almost
Naturally.
lunchtime.
You sure get hungry a lot.
Well, it is 1:40 in the afternoon.
You haven't
Now
had
I see why you haven't eaten.
Right.
I don't have to.
You should try the
Alright,
scones.
I cannot taste it.
Try it anyway.
Well, I can't. It's
It's the texture. They're flaky,
I
delicious,
cannot-
and warm.
It doesn't. I don't have teeth or a tongue.
It's just like a constant conversation where Gar is not getting it, and I keep trying to tell him.
Like I can eat and it gets burnt up. As in,
Yeah.
I just don't need to. I don't taste it. I
At
would
some
love
point,
to taste
it's
it.
like just force feeding.
Like I do like the bourbon whiskey, but I cannot taste the whiskey.
All right.
My family's food.
So you're all walking to the docks at this point?
To the Brandy Button house for a snack.
I bet you were
some lunch.
kidding. But okay.
Speaking of lunch, is anybody hungry?
No. Go.
Trying to check my
Yeah, a little
watch.
bit. I feel like I'll be there.
Yeah.
It's half past leather o'clock.
Goodness, look at my wrist. I
It's
gotta
about
go.
a freckle past a hair.
My Spotify Discover Weekly now is all like instrumental and video game music because of this. Even though during the week all I listen to is just like, you know, like I don't want to say like regular music, but like, you know, just different bands and things. But just because 3 hours every few weeks I just listen to this, Spotify's like, so you only want to listen to this, right?
But you're not mad about it.
I am mad about it.
You have to get two different Spotify.
Yeah, and sometimes it's like, okay, you listen to rock and rap too. Well, here are rock and rap versions of video game music.
Those must be pretty hit or miss.
Most of them are miss.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
You don't need to lie, I believe it.
So happy I don't have to wear that thing on my face anymore.
Yes, you do.
Well, I mean, in character, yes, but now I can just drink water.
I thought you can't drink.
He's a thirsty boy.
I don't have to drink or eat, but I can choose to.